Hello, hello. How are you? Give me 1 second. Trying to chat up so I can see you guys. This profile gauge can be used to measure the shape of irregular items to create an instant template for marking precise cut. Right? All right. Good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Thank you so much for coming in. 7 people in the building already. 1 thumbs up. If you have not smashed the like, let's smash it. We got a little short topic we're going to talk about today. I'm going to greet everybody coming in as soon as I can find where I'm at. How is everybody doing? How's everybody holding up? Like to ask everybody to remember Morning Gardner in your prayer. He's not doing well. He did a live yesterday from the hospital saying that he was sick. So please, even if you don't know him, just send up a prayer for the Morning Gardner. He's a brother that's been in the gardening community for a very long time, very knowledgeable, just all around good guy. I really like him. So keep him in your prayers. All right, let's see who we have in here. Start off. Dan Permaculture Food Forest, good morning. How are you? Playing in my yard. Hello, how are you? Thank you so much for coming in. Dining with Zion. Hey, how are you? Thank you. Short Bus Pull Up. Hello, Stephanie Garden. Hello. Thank you guys for being here. Missy, hello. Thank you. Victory begins in the hello, Vern's Junk Closet. Thank you, thank you, thank you guys for coming in. I appreciate you. I'm not going to be on here too long, probably about 45 minutes. We're going to touch on a couple of things. The title is, What Will It Take for You to Get in the Garden? I'm all about growing your own food. I'm a big advocate about that. I am starting to change my life in the way that I eat and what I eat. My goal is to be completely plant-based. It's a struggle. I'm gonna be honest. I've eaten meat all my life, so it is a struggle, but that is my goal. Someone asks, why not be a vegan? Well, I don't have nothing against vegans, but for me and what I'm trying to do in my life, plant-based will be a little bit better. Let's just say I can manipulate being a vegan and I will still have weight issues. Vegans can eat ice cream, donuts, certain things. Plant-based, I can't whip up no ice cream with plant-based. So, not that I know of, not that I done found out anyway. So I think plant-based would be better for me. So that's what I got going on. Today we are talking about beautification. Whatever it takes. I know some of us as ladies, we're very picky. Even some of us as men are very picky about our environment. I'm one of them. I like things to be not cluttered. I don't like clutter. I don't like mess. I don't like a whole lot. I like organization. It just makes me think better. But will that make your food grow? Mm-mm. It will make a better gardener, perhaps. Whatever it takes to get you in the garden. Vern Junk Closet, if you got to go out there and buy you some pretty pots, do it. Put them seeds in a pretty pot. If you got to go out there and buy matching 5-gallon buckets, do it. Whatever it takes to get you in the garden to start growing your own food. I truly believe that a lot of our health issues are because of the food that we eat and the way that we eat. I don't know um, how farmers and dairy farmers can produce so much uh, chickens and beef and pork to feed the world. I've been watching a lot of different videos, and one of the videos that I watched actually was Sick and Nearly Dead, I believe it's called, on Netflix. And they were showing the processing of that they go through to produce our meat for us. And if you watch it, you really will be turned off. And it might be the causes of a lot of illnesses that we have going through our body. I know everybody knows a lot of pork will cause your blood pressure to go up. But this is why I garden. This is not why I garden, but this is why I'm trying to go plant-based. And gardening will help me do that. If I grow my own food, I have more control over what I eat. I know what I'm putting into my body because I grew it. I'm not worrying about why apple at the grocery store is taking so long to break down when it shouldn't. The same thing with a French fry at the fast food restaurant. I cleaned my car out the other day. My grandbaby dropped a French fry. My grandbaby ain't been in my car in a month. The French fry still look good. Cold, hard, but it still was white. That's not good. So these are the things that we should pay attention to. Candy Hair Care, hello. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Stephanie Garden, thank you for being here. Linda, thank you for being here. If I miss you guys, my mod is greeting everyone that comes in. Miss Farola, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. My mods are awesome. They'll greet you because I get to talking and I forget to look down. So don't, take it like, oh, she's ghosting me. No, I'm not. I'm just running my mouth and trying to get this message through. So beautification. Okay, in my garden, I do a little beautification. And like I say, it doesn't make my plants grow any better. It doesn't make my garden, but it does make me want to welcome or go into my garden. Melanie, the moderator, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. It does make me want to be in my garden. I will say that. Solar lights is one of the ways that you can get an ambiance in your garden at nighttime. Now, I don't care how many solar lights, and I got a lot of solar lights, but I'm not going to be in the garden at night because we got rabbits, and I have a big fear of rabbits, and one run across my foot at nighttime, it's a wrap. So that's not something that's going to get me in the garden, but it's something that makes me enjoy my garden. It allows me to be there. I can see the beautification of it. It got a little ambiance. And even from my office, I can look out my window into my garden. And that next day, I want to be out there. I want to be in nature. I want to feel the fresh air. I want the grass to go between my toes, which I don't walk barefooted, so I don't even know why I said that. But you get where I'm going with it. Garden fences. Well, as soon as this shutdown is over, maybe you guys can go out there. They sell the garden panel fences. They're small enough to get into your vehicle. And they're easy to install. You just put the little prongs on them and stick them in the ground. And you can make you a 4x4 section if you have rabbits that comes in and try to eat your vegetables or any other type of pest that comes in and try to eat your vegetables. This can be a deterrent for them getting to it, and it adds beautification to your yard, your garden. Also, arbors. Arbors is another way that adds good beautification to your yard. When you have an arbor, you can plant different plants in it. Now, I don't do a lot of plants in my back garden, my backyard garden, as far as for beautification. If you see a plant in my backyard garden, believe me, it has a role that it's playing, especially if it's non-edible. My marigolds are back there because it kind of helps with the aphids. My lavender bush and honeysuckle is back there because it brings pollinators to my garden to pollinate my garden. So those are the reasons. Well, the honeysuckle was there when I first bought the home many years ago. And it just gives off a beautiful smell when you go in the backyard. Prior to having that, I used to have 2 rose bushes that was right up under my windows. This window and my bedroom window. Now, I believe that the reason why the homeowner had planted those rose bushes there, which was a great idea in my mind, is to keep people from trying to come through your window because, as you know, rose bushes are very thorny. So you try to come through there, you gonna be through a lot of pain getting in there, and you just give up and be like, it's not worth it. So these are things that can also add beautification to your garden. Boulders, big rock boulders. A lot of landscaping yards sell those boulders. They're very heavy, but if you get the lavender rock, which is a different type of rock, they're not heavy. You can pick them up yourself. It's just a coarse rock. And those look very beautiful in the garden as well. Different types of pathway pavers. Now I have cement footprints, giant footprints that leads to my pond. Those is just some beautification. Again, will it help my greens grow? Will it help my food? Will it get nutrition to my food? No, but it'll keep you out there to grow your food. So those are just different things as well. Wind chimes. I love to hear the wind chimes when I'm out in the garden. And I love to hear when the wind blows and it just makes that musical sound. It gets you in a different type of mood where you want to be in your garden. I think Supreme Family Garden has said it best. He said, just like heaven on earth. You know, it's my peaceful place where I am in my garden. So, whatever it takes. What will it take for you? Birdhouses. My grandbabies and I built a birdhouse last week to attract the bluebirds to our area. They're coming anyway. The sparrows, I don't really care for them because they're very aggressive, but the bluebirds are beautiful birds. A lot of people say, no, you don't want no birds in your garden. Look, you gotta, this is not really, we invaded them. So we have to share. We have to share with the birds. They might not eat all the fruit. Some of them will pick through the fruit because they're just wasteful. But you got to grow enough to share with nature too. So birdhouses, bird baths. If you put a bird bath, look, last year, 1 year, not last year, but a couple of years ago, I grew up my sugar baby watermelons, and something kept boring through my watermelons. And this is how you know when your watermelons is about right too, because you start getting scrapes and stuff on them. See, birds, squirrels, all type of rodents, they can smell that sweetness coming through your fruit, and they know when it's about ready. But a lot of times it's not because they want a sugar baby watermelon. They want the water, especially in a hot August month. They want that water. So if you supply your garden with a water supply other than your watermelons, they'll leave that watermelon alone, because first of all, it's too much work for me to keep pecking to get through it when I could go over to a bird bath and drink from it. So water features are very important in the garden, not just for beautification, but to help deter birds and squirrels from eating through your pumpkins and your watermelons, and they'll get out there in the bird bath and they'll eat there. Bird feeders. I'm not a believer of bird feeders, and I'm going to tell you why. Because when the birds eat from the feeder and it drops down on the ground, well, guess who come running to get the crumbs? Mice, rats. So I don't really do the bird feeders, but I put you some water out there. You're going to have to feed somewhere else. And hopefully not in my garden. That's a deal breaker for me too. It'll mess up my whole day. I go out there and I see a mouse run across my feet. So mice and rabbits, that doesn't work good for me. That's a hard one for me. Let's see what we have here. I'm going to keep stopping so that I can greet everyone that's coming in the chat. Crystal Pets and Plants, hello, how are you? It's been a while. I haven't seen you in so long. I'm so glad that you're here. I appreciate you being here. I hope all is well. Yeah, bird feeders for some that, like them. It's good. Birdhouses, bird water and bird baths. Get that out there in the garden. Wind chimes. Not the kind that make the music, but you got some that you can go to the dollar store and have that's made like butterflies, and some are circular that, the wind blow and they just spin. Whatever ambiance that you need to get you in the garden to grow your own food, do it. Whatever it's going to take, do it. Windmills. In my front yard, I do have a big windmill, but my front yard is more decorative for decorativeness than my backyard. My backyard is all about the food and growing my own food. The front yard, that's a little different thing going on out there. So the front yard, I do have windmills, and it just gives a good ambiance when you're sitting out. And you're relaxing, drinking your cup of coffee, and you're seeing the little thing spin. It just makes you feel kind of good. It gives you a different mental space, which is what we need. We got 27 people in here. Awesome. 17 thumbs up. If you haven't hit the like for the host, please smash the like. I would appreciate it. A sitting area. A sitting area is something else that plays a role in the garden, because I highly encourage a sitting area, because a sitting area, you're going to sit back there. And while you're sitting back there, you're thinking, you're meditating. You know what? I'm going to take this time and I'm going to plant some more carrots. Or over here, I'm going to put some more peas. Or over here, I'm going to add some more greens. Whatever it takes. You're spending time back there. While you're back there, you might as well do something. So a sitting area would be nice to have. Because while you're back there, you're sitting down, you're pulling your weeds, or you're bending over, you're putting your weeds. Instead of you saying, "Ooh, I'm tired," and going back into the house, you sit down for a while, catch your breath, drink your little tea, lemonade, whatever it is, and then you'll get back into your gardening. So beautification, if that's what plays a role to get you in the garden, let's do it. I'm all for it. It actually plays a role for me. Again, does it make my food grow? Absolutely not. Does it make me stay in the garden more? It really does. Actually, if it was a little bit warmer today, we're about 59, I probably would have did this live stream in the backyard. As it warms up here, I will be taking my Monday lives out in the backyard to walk you guys around to show you my garden. Ponds. Now, my sons built me a pond in my backyard before I even started gardening. They built me a pond when they were like 17. They're in their 30s now. And we still have that in-ground pond. I used to have kale fish in it, but quail fish in it. I'm thinking about gardening kale. But I wind up getting rid of them as they moved away, because I wasn't finna handle them fish every winter, trying to bring them in and putting a heater pump down there. But yeah, it's a beautiful, when I turn that pond on and that water start running off that waterfall, That's the sound, the elements. You got the sound of water trickling is so relaxing. You got the wind chimes going, the water trickling. And if you have a fire pit, guess what? You got the fire. That's all the elements. What's the name of the group? Earth, Wind, and Fire. You got it all in your backyard. So, fire pits and I can't think of what they call it, and I have it in my backyard. But the little the round one, the pot belly one, those are great to have in your backyard on a fall night, on a nice spring evening, where it's a little crisp feeling in the air, a little chill. You go out there and you like that, you'll stay out there forever. Whatever it takes to get you in the garden, that's what we have to do. Colorful pots. A lot of people like colors. I learned yesterday that one of Miss Forolla's favorite colors is purple. They got purple pots. Blue pots. I have two giant blue pots that I caught on sale at the clearance at Lowe's. The year before last, they were regular $30 pots, and they were like 90% off. So they were like less than $5. And I bought two of them. And the reason why they were so inexpensive, because they were the odd colors that nobody probably really even wanted, like a yellow or blue. But I bought the two blue ones because I said, you know what? I could put my blueberries in here. In a blue pot. How fitting is that? So, whatever it takes, again, to get you in the garden to grow your own food. I am a big advocate of growing your own food. I encourage anyone. Dining with Zion is you cook. Sis, get out there, grow you some, get you a little garden going. You and your husband and the babies love it too. And you know, work with what you have. That's a blessing to be able, and the feeling that you feel from bringing your food from the garden to the table is an awesome feeling. So if you don't have a garden, it would be great if you could grow a garden. The Bug Life, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Alrighty, let's see. Also, what else we have? Sculptures. I have a couple of sculptures in my backyard that's been there for years by my pond. Alright, sorry about that, guys. Everybody see me okay? We're not spinning. I have a sculpture in my backyard. I'm not Muslim, or I don't celebrate it. Just was a sculpture that I thought was picked up, put it in my backyard. So sculptures is another thing. You could get them either the cement ones, you could get the aluminum ones. They have them everywhere. You could get the ones that's made like chickens, roosters, the little gnomes that be in the backyard. Whatever it takes to get you to stay out in that garden and use some food, by all means do it. Hummingbird feeders. Now, they tell me we do have hummingbirds in Michigan. I have yet to see one. I would love. I don't know if you guys ever just sat and watched the hummingbird zip. He'll feed out the feeder, and his wings going 1,000,000 times a minute. That is an awesome thing to sit back in your yard and to see nature at its finest. So, again, whatever it takes to get you in the garden, just do it. You don't have to spend a lot of money trying to beautify. And don't try to do it all at once. You know, it's like you buy the house, now I got to fill it up with furniture. No. Just get out there and grow your food. And if you need a chair, get you a chair. You can use also everything that I named. is things that you could buy, but then you have a rustic garden, which is things that you can use actually from nature. A tree log. I watched Plant Abundance video yesterday with him and his wife were out in the garden, and he had two trees, big tree logs cut off for a seat and a log for a table with a little flat piece of plank wood across it. And they sat there and they harvested their food out of the garden. They washed it out there. They even cooked it out there. That's some things that is a beautiful experience to have, especially if you have children, and just not only for yourself, but for your significant other as well. Community with Lita, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you being here. Organics Best, Martine Brachot, thank you for being here. I appreciate you. Guys, I'm going to name New Orleans Gardener. Hello, I just seen you pop right on in. Thank you for being here. There's some gardeners in here that has beautiful gardens, and it doesn't focus around how great they grow their food, but I think they would agree that if you like being out there, you want something pretty to look at. You want something relaxing to have. Miss Linda, New Orleans Gardener, if you go over to her garden, she plants a lot of bulbs and different flowers and plants in her garden. It helps with bringing in pollinators, and it's beautiful to look at. And it makes you want to be out there. Martine Brachot, beautiful garden. It helps, some of the things in his garden helps with pollinators. And then other things is just relaxing. And it makes you want to be out in your garden. And if you want to be out in your garden, guess what? You will stay out there and start growing your own food. Again, if I put out all of these things, if I beautify my garden, is it going to make my food grow better? It's not. But it's going to make you go out there more often and check on your garden. Because if you're going to be a gardener, I'm not going to say it's easy. It's work. It's dedication. It's patience. And you got to have all of that. You got to go out there. It can be physical in the beginning and kind of smooth out a little bit as you go. But you got to water that garden every day. Some of you all are in the southern climates. It gets pretty hot. It gets hot here by June, July. This heat gonna start cranking. It might do it before then because we're already in April, and I got my window up because I don't know, it's hot. So you gotta go out there and you gotta work that garden. TK, hello, how are you? Thank you for being here, TK Fams TV. I appreciate you being here. I see some new faces in here. I'm excited to see a lot of you guys here today. I try to support as many people's lives as I can. Sometimes it's not possible. So sometimes I'll roll in. I'll sit for 15 minutes to give you that hour. And sometimes I'll come in and I'll sit for a while because the conversation be just that interesting. Dining with Zion has a lot of good conversations going on while she's cooking her food for her family. It's really good talk. Miss Farola has a lot of good conversations going on. Miss Linda has a lot of good conversations going on. Right now, we are at the point where we're at home. Melanie, the moderator, thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You don't have to do it, but I appreciate you so much. These people, you want to have something to do in this time. Gardening is one of them. A lot of people they go through different things when they have to sit at home. Because sitting at home sometimes and sitting still, it makes you reflect. It makes you think about things. And some things are positive, but some things are negative, because now we have to sit still and think about whatever it is. Going through this is something that none of us in here has ever been through. I never been through. I've never seen that. If you would have told me, and I don't even like to say the word, if you would have told me that this would have happened, and I'm changing course for a minute, 2 months ago, I would have been like, but if you think about it, a lot of people was telling you. A lot of people was informing. I'm telling you guys, if we can go from what we call our normal life to this life right here, why wouldn't you believe that it's very important to grow your own food? We have to start thinking for ourselves, like, why is our food not breaking down the way it used to? Why is there so many different illness and sickness? What is the one thing that we have in common? We eat and we drink. That's how we survive. Why is it so many, different sickness going around? Why is so many illness going around? It's very good to learn how to grow your own food. People have been putting on YouTube the shortages that they have been having with the food in Walmart. Now, I ain't talking about since this pandemic. I'm talking about before then. Why is the shelves emptying out in Walmart? Is it a food shortage or what's going on? Why is this where it's at? Like, we all go through those conspiracy theories in our head, but at the same time, who was ready for this? When we found out about it, who was ready for it? Like, I wasn't. I'm thinking, I'm about to do this, do that, plan my trip, whatever. Now you can't even go anywhere. I never would have thought that in a million years. So it's like we have to get more control of our future. If you go over to Miss Farola and you watch some of her videos, she talks about becoming debt free. How to, budget your money. I think that's very important. I think that we spend a lot of money that we don't have to spend. Diana Zion, I believe, last night was talking about a lot of people, right now are saying, well, I don't have this, I don't have that. And some of them don't, but some of them is trying to play a game on you as well. You have to think about it, and it's sad when you have a good heart and you got to think about, well, who do I help and who don't I help, or who's going to help me? We talked about that last week in our last live stream. How can we help? And then you have some that want to help but don't need the help. But it's just the fact of, well, I want it, I want to do it. Don't fall into that. Don't fall into it. That's just something that you got to pray about and hope that whoever you're helping, if you don't know it, if it's a stranger, that you're doing the right thing and they're doing the right thing with it. Because as soon as you give them money, like one of the ladies on the panel said, they'll take that money and do something else. It ain't got nothing to do. People will beg for, they'll buy what they want and beg for what they need. Let me get back into the chat. Louisiana Gardening Guru, hello. Thank you so much for coming in. I appreciate you. I haven't seen you in a while. I'm glad that you're here. Many beneficial insects are very hard to find. We must grow our own food and not just for YouTube to feed your family. I absolutely agree with that. And with that being said, I like to say this. If you are a gardener on YouTube, I hope that you're stepping up your garden. Don't just grow for show. Look, yesterday, I started growing, and I got them in my grow tent. It's packed in there. I'm not growing for show. I'm growing to grow my own food. I got some broccoli, some eggplant, some lemon balm going, and some bunching onions going. I'm doing it for my family. I'm doing it for other people, because this is how I can help. This is what I do. And a lot of people on YouTube, they do it for show. And I'm not saying it's right or a wrong way, because while you're showing, you also showing somebody how to grow. But now you got to do it because you need to do it. And if you are a gardener and you have a channel, keep pushing. Grow your own food. Keep encouraging your audience to grow their own food, because it's so, so important. We have been talking about, a lot of us have been talking about growing your own food way before this thing happened. So that is so true, Miss Linda. Thank you so much. Last night I enjoyed a delicious cabbage that I grew in my garden. I ate from my garden. I eat from my garden every day. That is wonderful. And that's the goal set for all of us. Food prices are going up on a daily. I mean, even right now, with this thing that's going on, if you notice, the food is more higher. When this is all said and done, we don't know how the economy is going to be. You know, a lot of us we're depending on check to check, and some of us is not working. Well, in order for us to keep our strength up, we have to eat. We have to. It's the same thing with your plants. You go out there, you water them, you get your fertilizer, you feed them. That's just like us. They got to eat, because if you don't do either one of those things, they won't survive. P. Smith Gardener, hello. I'm growing some extra plants to set in my front yard for anyone that wants to grow them. Awesome. And that is a very good idea. That means you can roll up. You ain't got to have no conversation. If you need it, get it. That is a very great idea, P. Smith Gardener. And that's good. Last week when I had started to thin out my seedlings, last week, one of my brothers told me, he was like, you should have took that extra plant and propagated it. Or if you had a hydroponic system, you could have put it in there and it would have grown. So now as I thin my seedlings out, I'm either going to pull it out and with that root on it, try to plant it somewhere else so that I'll have extra, because that's what you want to do. We got a bunch of seeds and we want to use them. Everything is coming along. What we have to do is we're going to have to help people out. Some people can't help you out monetarily. You know, we don't have it, but I got an extra tomato plant. You know, I got an extra this. And those that really want that help, they're going to receive that as the biggest blessing. Those that's on something else, well, I really needed the money. Well, I'm sorry, because we all going to need some money. But I can feed you. That's one less worry that you don't have to worry about it. That'll make you think a little bit better on a full stomach. So growing extra and sitting them out is an excellent idea. Okay, Ms. Ferrella say yes, they do fine if you separate them when they are still really small. Yep, I agree. So I'm telling you, everybody, just try. Everybody in here, all 25 of you, if you're not gardening, just try it. It's not, if you got it, I don't go get a bag of potting mix. Get you a little, you don't have to have no fan, you ain't got to dig in the ground. If you turning over the ground, you ain't got to do that. You could get a raised bed, you could get a pot, you could get a tote, a storage tote, put some holes in it, you can get a 5-gallon bucket, whatever you need to get you in the garden. Get you a pack of seeds and start planting them. I am so very grateful. I normally don't have a whole stockpile of seeds because I did that before. And I had a whole bunch of seeds, and I never used them. And then as they age, you don't know if they're viable or not. But this year, so many people had sent me seeds, and it was like hitting the mega ball. Every single time I opened up that envelope, it was good news to see seeds. I had Dave Hillside Gardner, P. Smith Gardner, Dee Dee's Pharmacy. So many people have sent me seeds. Aaron Hall sent me seeds. And I was so appreciative to them. How to Garden sent me seeds. And these, I'm telling you, I'm hearing they running out. I know they still got them online. You don't want to go now. They're cracking down on the stores where you can only get essentials. This is an essential. This is, look, even if you say you ain't got no money, this is why it's good to listen. Linda, New Orleans Gardner, she made an announcement that you can now go into, I think it's Dollar Tree and Walmart with your bridge card and buy seeds and fruit trees and fruit plant starts. It's really no excuse. You know, I don't know why we're not understanding it, seeing how the change of event to go. Right now that people are just out here like, what is going on? That last check that they got, it was spent before they got it. Some of us in here know the feeling. I know I do. When I was working in the work world, because now I run my own company, and it's having an effect on me. That check sometimes is spent before you even get it. You get paid on Friday. By the time you clock in Monday to think about that work week for Friday, it's already gone. So can you imagine going to work and people saying, we're closed down, we'll call you? Everybody don't have that option because some of the business here completely shut down. Some of the restaurants here, it wasn't no coming back. Even if he would have gave them a loan, they couldn't, because they buildings that they have, they're renting them, and the landlords are like, you gotta pay. So they didn't want to get into any type of debt with them. It's different laws and different things that's going on, and they completely shut down. I talked to one of my Mediterranean restaurants that I like to go to, and he was closed, and I called the phone to call in an order, and he answered. I said, are you open? He was like, nope, and I don't even know if we're going to be back. He was like, it's difficult. And I talk to this guy all the time when I go in there. He's a real good guy. It's sad. You know, we don't know how this is going to affect us. And a lot of us have to continue to just pray for each other. Come together. Be humble. You know, ain't nobody, oh, I'm doing good. It ain't bothering me. Well, that's not nice, because here's the thing. Where it might not bother you now, it might bother you later. I own houses. None of my tenants worked in the factory. And we've seen a little struggle here in Michigan before. When those factories shut down, you know, I was like, well, it shouldn't really bother me. But guess what? It did. Because even though they didn't work for Ford, Chrysler, and GM, they worked for other small factories that supplied them. With that shutdown, that my truck driver didn't have no supply to go back and drive, because they were shut down. They were going bankrupt. So back in the Obama time, it was just a blessing that the government had bailed them out and helped them out of that. The restaurants that's all up and down the strip, the people that came into those bars and restaurants was the employees from Chrysler and Ford. It was like a ghost town around all those places. And that did initially affect my pocket. When the housing market crashed, even though my taxes was paid, my mortgages was low when my tenants couldn't pay their bills during the housing market crash because it caused all kind of things to happen. I think that was in 2003. It initially affected me. It affected all around me because my neighbor across the street lost his home. My neighbor down the street walked away from his home. People was walking away, and my street became a ghost town. I felt very vulnerable because I'm looking out the window. I don't have nobody across from me. I don't have nobody next to me. I don't have nobody that way. It was a bad time, and it ultimately affected me as well because when my tenant could not make that money, they couldn't pay that rent. When they didn't pay that rent, I couldn't pay the mortgage. So sometimes when you go through something, even though it looked like a bad situation and it's hard, when you're going through it, just be positive and be prayerful that when you come out of it, it could be a blessing. Because with that housing market crash, it was really, really hard for me because I was losing 2 of my homes. But guess how I came out of it? That mortgage company had called me and they say, you are 2 months behind on your mortgage. I said, if I can't get no money, I can't pay you. They said, this is what we're going to do for you. They said, we're going to offer you a discount buyout. Now, a lot of people was doing short sales. A lot of people was doing Green Organic Love. Hello, how are you? Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. A lot of people was doing short sales. A lot of people was walking away from their home. And I know many of you all remember this. For me, they asked me, they said, if you come up, and I had 2 loans for $50,000 apiece. That was $100,000 in debt. My other houses that I had, I was struggling to pay for the 2 houses that was empty. He said, if you could give me $4,000, we're going to give you a discount buyout. This wasn't a short sale. This wasn't a walk away. It was a discount buyout. I said, what would that do to my credit? And then at that point, to be honest, I really didn't give a about my credit at that point. He said, it'll go on your credit report, but it won't look like a short sale, which would really hurt you, and it won't look like you walked away. Now I'm saying to myself, well, hell, if I had $4,000, I would have been paying my note. I had an appointment that day at the gun range. I went to the gun range, and they were having a class for people to get their CCW. Because at that point, I felt like everything is emptying out around me. I need somebody next to me or something next to me to keep me safe. There was a Chaldean man in there. He spoke English, but he didn't read it. He didn't write it. He went up to this one guy and he asked the guy, he said, can you help me with this? He couldn't fill out his form. And the guy was like, no, I ain't got time for that. I don't know what you said. He came over to me and I said, okay, I'll help you. What do you need? He said, I need you. It was so hard to understand him because I'm telling you, his accent was thick. I said, what do you need? He said, I need you to help me. They want me to fill paper out. I said, okay, give me your ID. I took his ID and I filled this paper out. We were on break. I filled this paper out with all this information. He turned it in and everything. I asked him the question. I read the questions to him. I gave him the different answers that they wanted, the multiple choice. He told me which one. I circled the one he wanted, and that was it. Turned the paper back in. We sitting there, we waiting for the class to start back up, for the instructor to come in, and he asked me, he said, well, where do you live? I said, I live in Detroit. He said, oh, I have houses there. I said, oh, okay, I have houses there too. I said, I have houses in Sterling Heights as well. He said, I live in Sterling Heights. He said, I just fired my property manager. I said, really? I said, I'm a property manager. I said, and I just lost one of my clients. Right there was that blessing. That was Y'all know how long it's been since the housing crash. I am still working with him. He is not my boss. He is now my partner. And we do investment in houses, and we buy them. We fix them up. We rent them out. I have my own stack in my name, and he has his in his name, and some we have together. You don't know who you can help to be a blessing. We have to stop looking down on people as they pass by and think, oh, here they finna come begging. We got to stop acting like we're better than. We have to. Because you don't know. That person that looked like a bum or disheveled might be the very person to be a blessing in your life. And that's things that we have to think about. I don't know how I went down that way with that, but I'm just saying. We have a lot of people that can be a blessing. And when I sat and dining with Zion's live stream, and a lot of times I'll come in and say hello, and that's the last thing you will hear from me. But I'm sitting there listening. I'm not so much in there trying to network, but I'm listening to what, because Dining with Zion has some really good live streams going on. She's not a gardener. She's about cooking on her channel. That's her niche. But to sit there and to listen to the panel and listen to some of the things that people are experiencing and going through is something that's really deep for me, because when we think we got it bad, all we got to do is listen to somebody else that got it a little bit better or a little bit worse, and to make us think, you know what, we're going to work this out. We're going to get this right. So that's my 45, everybody, 52 minutes. I would like to thank everybody for coming in. I truly, truly, truly do appreciate you. Miss Farola, thank you for coming in. Melanie, the moderator. TK Fam, thank you for coming in. Bug Life, I appreciate you. Martine Brashard, thank you for coming in. Pandy Hair Care, hello. I didn't see you come in, but I appreciate you. I want to make sure I don't miss anybody. Toledo 360, hello. Thank you for coming in. Another gardener, I appreciate you. Green Organic Love, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Carolina Gardener, hello. See, I done missed a whole lot of people coming up in here. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. I haven't seen you in a while. I hope all is well with you. Louisiana Gardening Guru, Miss Linda, thank you. Moon Gardner, I didn't even see you come in. Mo Gardner, I didn't see you come in. Hello, thank you. I appreciate you. I don't want anybody to think that I'm ignoring them. I wouldn't do it. I don't have that type of heart. Believe me. I don't even have that type of heart to ignore you. Missy, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. Commentary with Latu, thank you for coming in. Dining with Zion and P. Smith, thank you. I appreciate you guys. Everybody that came in, my moderators, thank you so much for coming and moderating and helping me with the chat. The reason why a lot of times I don't look down at the chat to worry about if somebody trying to spam me or not is because the moderators are so awesome. When you got good moderators that know what to do, Bearfruit, is that Bearfruit Gardening? Bearfruit Gardening. Hello, how are you? You changed your icon picture. I haven't seen you in a while. Thank you for coming in. I appreciate you. When you have great moderators to watch over your chat for you, you get that comfort zone, and you become comfortable, and you be like, you know what? They know what to do. Let me go on and stick to whatever my topic is. But I do occasionally will look down into the chat and make sure that I acknowledge everybody. So what I grow, hello. We're about to head out of here. I got to get back into this garden. I got my 4x4s. I don't know how quick I'm going to be able to get my extension up, but I'm working with what I have. Home Depot here now, guys. It's a line to get in there. They're only letting 50 people in the building, and that includes the employees. So that's about 25 people in the building. And then when 2 come out, 2 go in. So the line in Home Depot is so long, and you have to wait because the Home Depot ain't like going into the drugstore. It's a real big deal. You got to find what you want. Then you got to do all of that. So I don't know how my fence panels is going to go, but I got a plan. I'm going to make it happen because I believe that it's going to happen. It's got to happen. I want it to happen. I want everybody to be safe. Make sure you cover your face when you go out. Miss Linda showed you, if you don't have masks, Miss Linda showed you a way to use what you got. My neighbor, she makes masks, and she just dropped off a bunch of them at the door. And I'm like, wow, she wrote a little note for you and your family. That's what I'm talking about. When you do good to people, people will come back and be good to you. Whatever the circumstances is, this is hard times right now, and we really, really, really have to stick together and help out each other. You don't know what that person is going through or what that person is feeling. Walmart is pretty much insane, but I'm happy I'm out of there. Yeah, Walmart is off the chain too, because now they're making it where you only can buy essentials. And I think that that's the right thing to do. Because if you're going in there, you don't need to be, I mean, why are you going in there to buy a 50-inch TV? When I need to get in there and get toothpaste and tissue, because I wasn't that one that grabbed all that tissue, so I need some now. So I'm just saying, yeah, I need to get some food and whatnot, but we had got a heads up that they were going to do a complete shutdown for a week. So I ran out and got everything that I needed, because now we're at our peak here in Michigan, and this is the most dangerous time, and I'm not trying to even go out in nobody's stores. What we don't have, we won't have, because I know I got a bunch of beans up in that cabinet. If you hungry, you'll eat them. I got some vegetable broth up in the cabinets too. So if it get tight for that little week, we will definitely be getting a lot of our fiber. All right, thank you everybody for coming in, and I will see you on the next video. I'll be looking for y'all video, and I appreciate you. Happy gardening, everybody. Stay safe.